born in.
And he died in the same house, too.
And he died retired to Gilman in town.
And your dad bought the farm from you.
Well, no, he rented it until Grandpa died, and then he got his share. Divided among the kids,
But now your grandfather and grandmother both, Paul, came from Ireland.
Yes, I think so. Anyway, Grandpa came from Ireland. He potato famine.
What town in Ireland, do you know?
I can't remember what time. County Anne, something like that. And I was a little girl. I remember my mother used to drive horse and buggy uptown. We had a car, but when she wanted to go uptown, let her take. One lady did her washing because she had to do cook for so many men. So she'd take her washing up to a lady uptown and the horse and buggy. And I was this little girl, about 3 when I remember riding in the horse and buggy.
She used to teach at school, one-room schoolhouse, before she got married.
Yeah.
Now, was that between Gilman and Laurel?
Near Laurel, she thought. I was a little girl. I used to go out and get the cows. And one time I wore a straw hat. And then I put my straw hat down. And then I went home. And I looked for a straw hat. And then the next time I went out to get the cows and bring them in to be milked. Well, there my straw hat was all chewed up at the crown. The piggies had chewed it up. And I had a pony, and the neighbor, the tenant people's boy wanted my pony, and so I put it in the outdoor toilet and closed the door, and he never could find my pony. So.
Now, Grandma's parents, where did they live?
They lived near Laurel.
They farmed?
And then my Grandma and Grandpa moved to Marshalltown.
See, what was her maiden name?
Grandma Keebles.
Keebles, yeah.
My mother's name was Keebles. They lived, and Grandpa died soon after they moved to Marshalltown. And
I didn't know.
And my grandma lived in she lived several houses, but the main one, real nice little cottage there. And she'd go every winter to Florida with her. She rented out her farm near Laurel. And she'd hop the train from Marshalltown and go to Florida every winter till finally she had a slight stroke. My folks had to go down and get her and bring her back. She was a good piano player. Quite a grandma.
Was she the one that with the umbrella that would tap people on the head that were smoking cigarettes? And
she
tell them God intended them to smoke. She put a chimney on their head or something like that?
Yeah, she would. She didn't know about the Catholic men when their collars were. She asked if their collars were on backwards.
Now they were all Protestants, very much against Catholics, or?
Oh, yeah. Well, especially my grandpa come from Ireland. They were against Catholics.
Now, the Keebles, where did they come from? They're
well, I think
Pennsylvania.
Well, my grandma was raised around Newton, I think, or somewhere around there. But I'm not sure. But I think the relatives did come from England.
Yeah. Now, what I can't keep straight is, now, your mom, how many brothers and sisters did she have?
Sis had Horace Keebles, and then Mabel McAllister. That was Donald's mother. And she died on the farm near her and Arnold. Arnold was teaching in Gilman, but then he retired he went farming. And she died out in her garden. She went out, took a gun to shoot the rabbits out in her garden, and the gun accidentally went off. I think the dogs ran in front of her and killed her. And they found her out in the garden dead.
Now
that was my mother's sister. My mother felt pretty bad about that.
Okay, and then Grandpa had.
He had lots of brothers and sisters. I don't know how many.
Oh.
And he came over to Ireland, and a lot of them followed and
Okay.
come over.
Okay, that's your grandpa, but your
Grandpa
aunts and
Peebles.
uncles on Grandpa's side. Grandpa Paul. How many?
Aunt Mamie lived in town. And her husband and 2 children died of diabetes, but she didn't have it. Aunt Susie and Uncle Lil lived out on the farm, and they had 1 daughter, Ellen.
Okay.
And
So he was from a family of 3 kids and grandma.
4, 2 boys and 2 girls, and my uncle, my dad, and my Uncle Ed, Aunt Susie, and Aunt Mamie.
Oh.
Uncle Ed was a minister in Minneapolis.
What church?
Presbyterian church.
Presbyterian. Oh. Is that sun bothering you? Oh, well.
Well, my grandpa, what we thought was sort of funny is he was about 18 when his dad, he did something his dad didn't like in Ireland, and so he spanked him. And it made my grandpa mad. Of course, it was a potato family anyway. And so he then went and hopped a boat and went to America. His mother later on came over to visit him, though, so he did get to see his mother. And I think his brothers and sisters, a lot of them followed. Some of them stayed in Ireland, but a lot of them followed. And I guess you know, I had 2 sisters, Catherine.
No, Catherine's the old.
Doris
is
is
the
old. Doris is oldest, and then Catherine's the middle one, and I'm the youngest. Catherine married a doctor in lives in Ohio, and Doris lived here in Marshalltown. Doris was a music teacher for 35 years. I was just a housewife for all my life.
Well, you beauty operator. You went to beauty school.
I worked at a beauty shop for about a year in Eldora, but I didn't care for
it. You went to school to be an elementary teacher for a short time.
I went to Cedar Falls one year, but didn't like going. I liked college, but I decided I didn't want to be a teacher.
This is Beverly. This was a recording I did on our trip up to Wisconsin of Mom, Peggy, as everybody knew her. We stopped at Kenosha, Wisconsin, on our way up to Sturgeon Bay. This is in first week in June 1986. Took Chad with us. And I've been trying to get Mom to write down memoirs, and she never would get around to it, so I says, I'm going to take you. She said, no, I don't want to do that. I'll sound funny. I don't want anybody listening to my voice after I'm dead. That'll be strange. I said, not any stranger than seeing your pictures or reading your handwriting after you're dead. She kind of didn't really want to, and finally I was going to get her to talk in the car. She says, no, I won't talk in the car. I'll talk in the motel. So we compromised, and we talked in the motel. We were sitting outside of our room on a real pretty balcony. A real nice day. Didn't get her to talk as much about a lot of things that I wanted her to, but she told what she wanted to. We had a good trip up to Wisconsin, Sturgeon Bay. Chad got to fish, and Mom got to visit Bud and June Birmingham, and they said that this is their last year to run that tavern, restaurant, and cabins, that they were retiring at the end of this summer. And these were the cabins that Mom and Dad took all 4 of us kids up to once a year, and then after us kids were gone, they still went up there every year. They rented a cabin for a week, sometimes longer, and a boat came with the cabin, and Dad bought a little motor, and he put it in the back of the station wagon and take it up there. And the last couple of years, when Dad's health wasn't too well, Bob, my brother Bob, would try to get his leave from Navy or get off from whatever he was doing and drive Dad and Mom up there because he knew Dad's heart wasn't very well. But it had a lot of good memories for Mom. She several times walked down to where the cabins were and walked down to the lake and back and visited a little bit several times with Bud and June and had to see their son Brad. She remembers him from being really little and kind of watching him grow up through the years. I think they said he was 28 now, and that's Bud and June's only child. And I guess that's pretty much it. I might add some more things that she's told me onto this. Since she's not going to, I will.